Please start. Oh, Lee spun. But look at that. Panel to the inside. Oh. Here we go, Jack. Is he going to hold it? Oh, they make contact. Matter comes across the line, and for the 4th time, he is your VSL champion. Hello everybody and welcome along to VSL F1. This is season 8 and we are at the crucial point of the championship. It is round number 8 and we are at the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Edino Ferrari, also known as Imola, for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. My name is Jess Ball and joining me in the commentary box, as per usual, we've got Mr. Evil Dragon, also known as Liam New. How are you doing tonight?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and like Jess said, welcome to the Autodromo I forgot it. Here we go. Me and Jess were before this saying, oh, it's this, and now I've forgotten it. This is terrific. Right, welcome to Imola, as we'll call it. Or the, whatever they call it in real life. It's so complicated. It's big. It just doesn't stop. It's the world's longest name. But welcome to a circuit which first hosted a race, by the way, in 1953. It first hosted the Italian Grand Prix in 1980. The only race not actually run at Monza that year. It's run every other race at Monza since. Of course, it hosted the San Marino Grand Prix more famously from 1981 to 2006. And of course, it ran the Emilia-Romagna Made in Italy Grand Prix from 2020, 21 and 2022 as well. And that's a name which is very long. But we've got cars on track, Jess, and I believe it is Mr. Kieran who's coming out on circuit right now. My good old buddy on those nice set of medium tyres.
Yes, indeed. If you missed last week's race, we were at Portugal and we saw Timo take the win there, and we saw Casper finish second and Iceman finished in third. So the top 2 in the championship finished top 2 in the race, which is great to see. And Liam, this is a track where the Ferrari-powered cars need to do well because the Tifosi are here in full force. We've got the Ferraris today of Casper and Flexi. Casper especially has performed very well this season, and they're probably like a Charles Leclerc type driver, I would have to say. So for the Tifosi's sake, let's hope Casper does well tonight.
Yeah, indeed. We're only a stone throw away from, of course, the home of Ferrari as well, of course. The Enzo Dino Ferrari circuit, of course, named after, of course, Enzo Ferrari's son, Dino Ferrari, who tragically passed away. I think it was in 1953. Pretty much the same year this circuit opened. Of course, he sadly passed away. So, of course, very close. Pretty much a lot of the famous Italian teams, of course. AlphaTauri, Toro Rosso, they're only based down the road here in, pretty much in Imola as well. So, pretty much quite a lot of home circuits. We have got Kieran, though, coming through the last quarter in the Alfa Romeo, the Italian team as well, also based not too far away as we come through then across the line, the variant to Bassa then, and then it's a long run down towards the one. Really that, because all of a sudden there's pretty much turn one right there. This is in I believe it was called Tarago, the first corner, and then to the second, and then to the third, then into Tamburello, the left-hander here, of course. Senna, of course, had that tragic accident in 94 on the outside there. Into the Villeneuve chicane, chucks it left, into right, down in the 4th gear, chucks it from there as you come into Tosa, into what is a very easy manoeuvre to make overtakes in the race. 2nd gear as you come up the hill, up to what I always keep calling Acmirali. It is in fact Piratella then, and this corner, absolutely incredible. Chuck it in, down into 5th gear, into 4th for him, up to 5th, into 6th, up to 7th. Chucks it down into Acmirali. And then right now, this is the dip, come up over the crest. Reverends always wants to step out up. Here is into 10, and then into the Variante Alta. This very short Charles Leclerc have a big moment, of course, and hit the wall, actually, just over a week ago now, as he gets that nice and stop, though, from Kieran, as he now comes down the hill in towards Ravazza 1 and 2. And this corner, downhill braking, easier to go wide, of course, because you have less braking power than you normally would expect into the exit Ravazza. And then it's all the way up to the Variante Bassa, then the final corner on this circuit. Chicane, of course, there on the left, of course. And Kieran might we say, 1:16.069. That, I must say, very nice.
We have got our championship leader, Timo, who has just finished his lap as well, 1:18.4 on the medium compounder tyres. And we've got Timo's teammate, Hayden, who has unfortunately invalidated, so he'll be going into the pits. Next across the line will be Ryan Barry, who's doing his out lap, and then it'll be Tony up to the line on a soft compounder tyres, and as expected, on pole position right now because he's on a faster tyre, 1:15.8. And then we've got the AlphaTauris coming up now. We've got Cam in at the AlphaTauri tonight, along with a new reserve as well, Robin Rest. So a big well done for him joining the league and a big welcome. Let's hope he has a good result tonight, actually. And that's a 1:14.1, a solid lap time, actually. It's a very good lap time, actually. And for those of you that don't know, Toro Rosso means Red Bull in Italy, so that's why they got the name Toro Rosso back in the day. Now it is called AlphaTauri, of course. And yeah, that is quite an interesting fact, actually. Not many people are going out yet, which strongly suggests that things could happen, but you never know what could happen around Imola. As Ryan Berry now goes through Aquamarali, he's taken it very, very well. I have to say, Liam, I saw Kieran on the mediums around here, and the rear steps up more when you're on a harder compounder tyre, so that's why Ryan Berry seems to be alright, checking the car quite nicely, and I think he's backed up because ERS is on low, I think. But he's still probably going to go and try and set a lap anyway, or he's probably going to lie to us and go into the pits like some drivers do. But we will see. Is he going to go into the pits? Nope, he's not. He may go out for another lap, Liam, but for now, P5.
See, yes, of course. By the way, it's pretty much the same as you said, by the way. Like, the word Toro Rosso actually translate in Britain to Bull Red, which I always find very amusing because it's backwards sometimes. So the Bull Red is currently first. The Red Bull, meanwhile, is down in 15th and also in 8th. Not both set lap times, though it's saying that. N8 is coming through the last couple of corners into Ravazza 1 and 2, and let's see what he can do. So far for the Red Bull driver,
he's invalidated.
He's invalidated, so, well, he's not going to be doing anything there. So we've got what is going to be Matt Ryan on an out lap so far. Ryan Berry's up 4 attempts in the middle sector. Let's see what he can do. So crucial, Jess, getting qualifying that, because round Imola, it's a pretty difficult circuit to overtake. Turn 1, 2, 3, very easy to go off as well.
Yes, I've raced here quite a few times as well, and DRS trains could play a massive factor there as well, and with the dirty air as well, I've seen a lot of people go off in the Villeneuve chicane as well, heading up to Tosa, but hopefully Ryan Berry won't be that person to do that today. Up to the line he goes, P4, so he's improved by 1.9 seconds. Next across the line it won't be Pete because he's invalidated. Unfortunately, I think most people will be on there. Matt Ryan actually is on a run now, just past heading towards Tosa. 24.6 was his first sector. Pretty decent for him so far. He is currently sitting in P18 in the standings with 15 points. As I saw now for Romeo almost blocking Matt Ryan there. That was close. Very, very close back. Morali, purple sector 2 for Matt Ryan. Is that the truth? I hope it's the truth because it looks like a solid lap so far. He took the chicane pretty nicely indeed as he goes down the hill, and you're very lucky if you have a house around here, especially in one of these houses on this circuit, because you get to watch the race for free pretty much as well, which is very, very lucky. It must be expensive. But anyway, Matt Ryan up to the line, and it's a 1:16.5, puts him into P5. We got Aston Martin of Hayden up to the line, and that is P6. What about Tony P? He's in the pits. Okay, so he's not going to do a lot unless Ryan Berry's going to do another run. He's doing another run then. He's on 3 lap old softs. Well, if I were you, going on 3 lap old softs in the race, not ideal. Not ideal at all.
Yeah, definitely not. Meanwhile, Casper, Ferrari's hometown hero, purple sector 1, purple sector 2. Oh, he's got it all wrong, though. Through into the chicane there, and that, very familiar, the Ferrari having a big moment into the very anti-outer. That's it, what you're going to be doing, though he managed to keep it just in the right direction this time around. Here he comes in to Ravazza 1 and 2. The hometown heroes of Ferrari, that's it, this might not be pole position. He takes a very interesting line. It's P2 though. 1 second off a Robin, meanwhile. He has set the timing screen to light, by the way, 114.3. The other Italian team, ahead of the Italian team. Then guess what, Jess? It's the Italian team in third, there of which is Alfa Romeo. By the way, if you are wondering with why AlphaTauri really is more the Italian team, it used to be Minardi, of course, back in the day, 1980, I believe. That team came into existence, I think 1980 or 1984, one of the two. Became Minardi, got brought out by Red Bull in 2006, of course, this team, and then went on to win the first race for that team as well. Meanwhile, Timo, with the help of DRS and a bit of slipstream, up to P2 right now. Splits them 2/10 off of P1 in the Jordan, as I will say, head of the Ferrari, then the Sauber, then the McLaren. Then comes the team which has got about 16 million names. That is the Alpine, Renault, Benetton. Then it was actually an Alfa Romeo.
Lotus.
Before that, Lotus. It's like 18 million names. So there is the team which has had more names than anything. It's a little bit wide in the background. Right, there is, I believe, one of the houses, it might be, of George. He's just coming into Marino in a second. He's just coming through Peritella. A little bit wide, gets it in the track limits, like Lando Norris, who went wide in 2020, I believe. There as he comes down into Morale, then up the hill is the validate of that one, though, so that is the end of that lap. Tony, meanwhile, is in the wall, I will say. I was about to say Tony's on a lap, but, well, he's in the wall right now as I cut to him, so, well, he's not on the lap anymore, Jess.
No, Pete's got a damaged front wing, Liam, so he's going to have to come into the pits, and he doesn't have very long to get one final lap in at this moment in time. Deck is on a run at the moment. I'm trying to see who else could be on a run. George has invalidated, obviously, so he's not going to be able to improve. So let's just watch Deck going past the Variante Alta. Well, we saw George Russell make a very good move on Kevin Magnussen a few weeks ago. I really enjoyed that battle with those two as well. It was two of my favourite drivers going against each other because I like K-Mag. He has a special place in my heart, he does. Deck up to the line, P4, so we got a Mercedes 3-4. So we've got Ferrari, Mercedes, and if you know, with Timo, obviously, well, the Aston Martin is known for many names. It was known as, obviously, Aston Martin, then Pink Mercedes, then Racing Point, Force India, then was it, I can't remember. Acre, yeah, that was it.
And then it was, I think it was Midland before that was the thing. And then, of course, it was Jordan as well, all the way back to the beginning for your little fact on that one there.
Indeed. So we got Ahmed back this week after pretty much 2 or 3 weeks off in the Red Bull. So nice to have him back as well because we do miss him racing in the cockpit. So he is going to show us what he's made of tonight, doing a lot better this season as he has in previous seasons, but let's just hope he doesn't get into a spin. Yellow flag in sector 2. I believe that was for Newgarden, just after Totes there. So Rabatzi goes Amin on those medium tyres then. His first lap, and he goes into the pits. Liam, he's tricking us. Oh my dear God. But we still got more people on laps once again. We have got Deck who's going into the pits. We have got Ryan. I still don't get, Liam, why Ryan Berry's on 6 lap old softs. That is just beyond me. If he qualifies on them, I just don't know what he's going to do. But anyway, Newgarden, he is going to set his first lap. Is he going to be competitive at the moment? Or pretty decent for him, 1:17.4. Puts him in P12 though. Flexy's just going past turn 2. Some people mistakenly call it turn 1, but it is turn 2. Another Ferrari driver that needs to do well. Kai's in P5 in the standings, so not too shabby, but surely he wants to be higher up for championship purposes as well. A few people are positioned in the championship at the moment. Mata, Kai's sitting in P6. Well, he's last season's champion. Surely he's got a lot to live up to for this week and for the final 4 races after that. Casper, though, the home favourite. Purple set to 1, Liam.
Yeah, he's looking good though as he comes down in towards Admiral, then chucks it in. Down here in the mineral water corner as it is cold, and that is almost a little bit teary for him. There's the rear end. Steps out again, he's backed off his lap time. Has he, or is he carrying on? He's backed off his lap time. Again, Casper, the second time in 2 laps, he's had the rear end do a swapper on it. Meanwhile, Tony has just crossed line. He is in P7. Next cross line, we've got the other Ferrari of Flexi. He's just coming through the last corner right now. Let's see what he can do. Crosses it. P2 then in the Ferrari. That is going to be good for him. Puts him at that Ferrari. 1, 2, well, Italian. 1, 2, 3, I guess, like I say. And then we're seeing who is next to do a lap time. We've got Tony on an out lap. We've got the Red Bull coming in the pitch. We've got a McLaren of Knighton, I believe, on a lap time with a set of soft tyres. He goes across line. P5 for him right now. It's 1:14.705. So very good lap times for him as I look up to see who is on a lap time right now. And I believe
Tony.
It might be Tony. Let's see, sector 2 was 2 tenths down there right now. I believe
he's invalidated.
Are we looking at the wrong Tony? I think we're looking at the wrong Tony.
Yeah, I'm looking at Tony in the Williams, who invalidated, unfortunately. But
I was looking at the other Tony.
It's hot. It's hard because there's 2 Tonys. But anyway, let's watch Tony, who's going to probably go into the pits now. Well, I should distinguish on what Tony I'm looking at, so it's easy, because otherwise it's difficult sometimes. But yeah, the Alpine Tony goes into the pits. Timo is on his out lap at the moment. He's got some clear air right in front of him soon, because I'm sure Pete will be going into the pits. He's going out nice and early though, so he probably wants to go on a few laps on these softs. With people on like 5, 6 laps on softs earlier, does that mean that we could have some rain imminent in the race? I don't know. I'm not checking the chats at the moment because I would like it to be a surprise. But that could happen, that we could see some rain. As I don't think I've ever raced in the rain around Imola in a long time, actually. To be fair, I did rubbish there as Timo's about to start his run. As his out lap is looking pretty decent. So let's see what his flying lap has he passes the Made in Italy side. Heading past Barriente Bus, then heading towards turn 2. He goes. Yellow flag. Sector 2. That's just people moving out of the way. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Everyone else is on out laps. We've got Robin. We have got Mata, Deck, Casper. We've got Ryan Barry. Literally everyone is going on their out laps at the moment. No quality bans this week. And good news, Liam. No stewards reports from last week in Portugal. Everyone was good little boys and lads. So well done.
Yeah, indeed it was. Meanwhile, this is a blistering lap time for Timo. 3 temps up in sector 1. Chuffs it through into Admirali. Rear end sticks. He goes up the hill, down towards the Variante Ultra. Then turn 11 and 12. Gets it nice and hooked up through here. It'll be absolutely perfect. 1, 2. Rear end. Little twin to the rear end, but gets it all caught up on the exit. Comes down the hill into 13 and 14. Down towards Ravata. This is the tricky braking zone. So easy to get a swapper on. Get the rear end to step out. Looks fun through there. Gets it all hooked up then into the last corner. Into the last Ravata. And then a run up then into the Variante Bassa. And the last real corner on this circuit. It will be P1. How much by a tenth of a second? 1:14.244 for him. And that is the benchmark for him. Who next on a lap time? We have got, I believe, we've got N8 coming up to the line right now. He in the car. We've got Slenderman just ahead as well on an out lap. N8 look very wide. That's invalidated his lap time. So that's the end of him. We've got Acorn and Matter starting their lap. Next up, I believe it might be... see, who's it next, Jess? As I think Jess is having a drink or something right there.
Oh, sorry, I've muted my mic now. I do apologise.
Oh, no.
I do apologise. I was talking for no one for the last minute or so, but Ryan Berry is starting his run. We've got, I think, Hayden on his outline, but it's Robin that is on his run at the moment. Can he get P1? No, but he's a tenth quicker than his previous best. He will get to go again, though. We have got a McLaren up to the line as he is 1:14.7 as he's about to start his final run, actually. Yep, he's about to start his final run. We've got Deco. Oh, he went wide. He's invalidated. He's going to go into the pits. And that is his qualifying over. The checker flag has dropped. Deck can't improve. Casper's backed off once again. Casper, the home favourite, can only manage P8. We have got a few people actually diving into the pits, actually. We've got Kieran through sector 3. His teammate across the line in P5. We have got Matter, can only manage P7. Flexi, as he just passes Aquaman away. Purple sector 2. This is looking pretty decent. We'll see if any more drivers Ahead of him on laps, we've got Aston Martin about to cross the line, or they go to the pits? No, they're going to the pits. I think we've got an Alpine next. Let's see if he can jump up, but Flexi first. 1:14.1. The Tifosi are cheering with absolute delight here as they see Flexi in P1 1:14.169. Next with Timo. No, Timo has retired, so it will be Hayden. Hayden won't be able to improve. We've got Tony P through for Vatsa 2. He goes, and to Variante Vassa. Can he get pole? 1:15.2. P8 still quite respectable though. We got Robin in the pits, and unfortunately that is it. So Flexi from Timo, from Robin, and I have to say the new reserve looking pretty decent. Our third place man from last season in the championship looking really well in Ferrari's home track, and our championship leader ahead of his championship rival, Liam.
Yeah, indeed. We're just waiting for Mr. Casper, of course, who going a bit slowly, getting out of all the AI's way, might I say. As he heads back to the pit, he is going to be feeling very dejected right now. He had 2 laps, which were very good. In fact, one of them was a 1:14.1, I think, as well. It came up on my screens. I don't know if it was correct, as he's just getting out of the way of absolutely everyone. Be careful, you can get disqualified. The game has a habit of doing that, but he's just carrying on his way. In fact, he's retired from the session just right there. But P10 for him. It was his teammate on pole. Ferrari rounding up top 2 of the top 10, and that is, of course, 1st and 10th. The Ferrari team, by the way, in whole, the Ferrari powered cars, I believe, most of them near the front as well. We have got, it is Ferrari from Aston Martin then, of Timo. Then comes Robin on his debut then in the AlphaTauri in 3rd. Kieran and Slenderman in 4th. In 5th, ahead of Knighton in 6th. Matt alongside in 7th, ahead of Tony in 8th. Acorn in 9th, or Deck in 9th. Ahead of Casper in 10th. Jordan 11th, ahead of Aidan Ryan. And then comes Ryan Berry. And then Newgarden N8 and Cam, and then Tony at the back as well. So 18 drivers, Jess. 3 didn't set lap times, but it's going to be quite crucial who's doing what in the race.
Yeah, exactly. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be thinking, you know, what if I had done that or whatever. But sometimes life is like that, unfortunately. Like I said, a few people out of position, not where they wanted to be in qualifying, but that is not where the points are given out. The points are given out in the race. But without further ado, whilst we wait for everyone to get their setups on with a 2-minute break, we got a few things to mention. First of all, our sponsors. Get that out of the way. We are sponsored this season by Rogue Energy. You could use the code VSL F1 League for 10% off by going onto their website, rogueenergy.com. They produce some lovely products there, so go and check them out. So, you may be wondering, what are your favourite drivers doing in the standings? Well, I'm about to tell you. Timo leading by 3 points over Casper in the drivers. So Timo in P1, Casper P2. We've got Tony in the Williams in 3rd on 98 points. Slenderman in 4th on 77. We've got Flexi in 5th on 69 points. Matter in 6th on 49. 7th is Kieran on 47. Then we got Iceman on 38. Deck on 35. J-Luke on 34 in 10th. And we got Red Matt on 26, Tony P on 25, Ryan Berry on 19, Hayden on 18, along with Mike and Yarham. Yarham, I believe, is not here tonight, unfortunately. We've got Lee on 16 points, Matt Ryan on 15, Cam on 11. We've got Sheldon Keeper on 6 points, and we get the next page. Risky on 6 points, by the way. He's not here tonight. He's got a new job, actually, recently. So a big well done to him for being successful in that, and best of luck for that in your new job. Newgarden in 22nd on 5 points, as well as Knighton, who got his first points last week. Well done to him. We've got Ahmed on 4 points, Yuri on 2 points, and everyone else yet to score. George being the only full-time driver yet to score. Constructors Championship, well, the home favourite Ferrari, they're leading on 189 points to Aston Martin's 161 Alfa Romeo. Very close to Aston Martin in 3rd on 136. 4th is Williams on 113. We've got Mercedes in 5th on 84. 6th is AlphaTauri on 52. 7th is McLaren on 47. 8th is Alpine on 44. 9th is Haas on 35. And 10th is Red Bull with 25 points. Still all to play for, with 5 rounds still to go, including this one.
Indeed, and if you are just joining us as well, welcome to the San Marino Grand Prix. Welcome to the Autodromo di Ino de Ferrari as well. 4.909 kilometers, 154.5245 kilometers, by the way, these drivers will be running around here. 32 laps, 8 to the left, 8 to the right around this 16 corner track. Of course, opening in 1953, Ferrari, of course, only a stone throw away. One on pole, one in 10th. Of course, the Italian Grand Prix hosted it in 1980, so there we are. Flexi gets themselves off as we are getting on the formation lap. The San Marino Grand Prix as well, 1981 to 2006. We've seen so many great battles at the moment. Ferrari and Villeneuve had a big disagreement in 1982, of course, with team orders in effect with those Ferraris. Gerhard Berger had a monumental crash here in 1989 at the first corner, which of course went on to unfortunately claim the life of Ayrton Senna in 1994. After that, we of course saw these chicanes, of course. The Tamburello chicane and the Villeneuve chicane added as well, of course, after Senna and Ratzenberger's horrifying accident, unfortunately, passing as well. Other people don't forget, Rubens Barrichello had a big crash here in 94. That was at the Varianta Bassos complex as well. That got changed ever so slightly from a quick left-right-left chicane into, of course, just the left-right chicane, which is still there today. You can see it. Whilst, of course, in 2008, that last chicane was pretty much flattered a little more, of course, of an extended pit lane to the circuit we more see today. Michael Schumacher has won this race a grand total of 7 times, the most successful driver on this circuit. Senna and Prost, by the way, both have won 3 times. McLaren have won 6 times here, though that is dwarfed by Ferrari and Williams. 8 successive times they have both won here in the past. 1:15.484, the fastest lap Lewis Hamilton set that 2020, of course, in his all-conquering 7th world title Mercedes. But, Jess, we have got 18 drivers. Only one of them can win this race.
Yes, indeed. Well, we got a few disqualifications from the formation lap. That is not ideal so far, but it is looking like it's going to be a dry session. And like I said, these guys will be going to around about lap 13 for a set of the medium tyres if you're inside the top 10. George is opting for the soft compound tyres, so is Newgarden. Whereas we've got Hayden, Matt Ryan, Ahmed, Cam and Tony on a set of the mediums. And Ryan Berry, the only driver going on the hard compound tyres. I wonder if Ryan Berry is going for a little bit more of a conservative strategy. He thinks the hards will be a lot better than the mediums in the long run. I've seen it done in the past where these types of strategy work wonders. But we've got all 18 cars lined up on the grid. It is race time.
Indeed, it most certainly is then, and that is going to be the last car on the grid. The Williams then, and let's see up front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... red light here in San Marino. It's lights out and away we go. Looks like a cracking start then from Flexi. Timo there slots into second position ahead of Kai. Robin there down into fourth as they slot themselves into turn 1. But outside, here goes Timo. This is crucial. Gets on the curb there. It's Flexi there. Having to scrap back through. They touch. A yellow flags in the background as Matt Ryan going off as they come down into the Villeneuve chicane and then into Tosa. But Flexi there's got it well. Up into Tosa we come then as Timo follows through. Kai up into third. Robin into fourth. Moves there as Casper up into 8th position then from 10th on the grid. Further down, deck dropping positions in the background. There's a little bit of a scrap. As here is George trying to go around the outside into Piratella. Can't quite do it. And the yellow flags are Adrian at the back as well. He's had a horrible start as well as Matt Ryan involved. I think damage as well for George. It looks like he just got his front wing ever so slightly chopped. There is off. Going, it's Acorn as well. Deck having a troublesome time. Newgarden at the back. But all sorts of drama is yellow flags. And that there is Robin Rest, the man who's made his debut, chopping it through the chicane. And that now is going to be a third driver in trouble as we finish the first lap, Jess.
Wow. I did tell you that lap 1 can bring some sort of chaos here at Imola, and it usually does. And those chicanes, well, it can bite you. Villeneuve, Ackerman, Variante Elza has caught 3 victims tonight. And I wonder if certain people will be going into the pit lane. We got Casper, who's looking brilliant to try and go for a move on the right-hand side into turn 2. Does that very nicely indeed. Casper says, thank you, see you later. And he is up into P6, chasing down Mata now. as well. Cam looking very good as well, heading through the Villeneuve chicane. He almost went side by side. He touches with the Alpine car, and it has that spun, and that is George. His day has gone from bad to worse, and he's got a damaged front wing. That's not going to do his race any harm. Any good, unfortunately. His deck, unfortunately, has spun. There's so much more chaos. Matt Ryan and Robin go into the pits. Matt Ryan on a set of hards, Robin on a set of the mediums. Tony getting past Ahmed then, before Akamaru actually got past the Piratella, actually, up into P11 at the moment. And I have to say, one driver who's had a decent start is Pete. I'm just trying to look how many positions he's gained. He's up to 4th place. Aaron Matter, Cass has gained 4 places. Cam has gained 8 places. So Cam, the biggest gainer during the first few laps, Liam.
Hey, team. The back of flexes, it comes down towards turn number 1 then. This is going to be crucial with the slipstream, with the DRS member on this lap. He's not going to be closing to make a move yet. Is the car off and he's rubbing rest, I believe, maybe, or his lap might be Aiden having trouble at turn number 1. He's got all sorts of troubles. They come through into Tamburello. As now we get a little bit of action, a little bit of calmness before the stop. DRS active list lap. Matt Ryan, meanwhile, having a battle with Tony. Tony ahead of Matt Ryan right there as they exit of the Tamburello chicane. So those two switching and swapping positions right there. First drivers having their stops, by the way. In comes George for his new nose. We've had Aiden in, Matt Ryan in, Robin Ress also in the pits as well at the start of this race. Real gainers, by the way. That is, of course, Tony and Cam up 8 positions respectively. Real losers, by the way. Robin Ress down 15. He's had a horrible start. Got spun around down at the Variante Alta. And talking of spins and issues, there, Akamaru, as you mentioned, trouble right there for Knighton. Now, of course, up front, DRS activated this lap. This is looking like it could be a good opportunity for Timo to try and take the opportunity, as Knighton having all sorts of troubles now at the Variante Alta, I can see. Here comes Timo then to snatch the lead from Flex. He's hopeless. He can't do anything. He'll go to the inside line. Here comes the Aston Martin alongside. Gets ahead then before we even get towards the first real braking zone of this circuit. Casper up to 3rd, making it a Ferrari 2-3-4. As let Hayden off then at the exit of Akamaru as well. That might be a safety car. It is a safety car. As the action now brought to a close ever so slightly as I look down to see what he's done. And I'm guessing, yeah, he's got on the curve on the exit and he's just swapped around into the wall. Rear end in first. Knighted a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Well, at least he's still back in this race, and I think if he spent the pit lane and there was no safety car, he probably would have retired. So at least he has a chance to still go. Good news for Casper, though. He's got a yellow warning light on his dash. Well, we could get rid of that and go on lean fuel. So I think Casper's pretty much relieved about that. So what would you do if you were the drivers on the softs? Would you stay out, or would you go onto the hard tyres and risk going to the end? I don't have a clue, because I think it's too early to pit from soft to something else. So if you pit now, I'm almost certain it could be a 2-stop race, but the drivers have got to think on their feet and see what they could do, because they could go for a free pit stop, but they may have a risk of pitting later on in the race where it is only a 1 stop. We have got Flexi in, we have got Kieran in, we have got Matter who is in, we've got Senderman in, we have got Tony P who is in, we have got, well, Ryan Barry had to stay out because, of course, his teammate is in. We've got Matter, who is in. We've got the other Tony in the Williams, who is in. We've got Deck, who's in. And I'm not sure what the others are going to do yet, because obviously Pete's just pitted, and so has George. So half the field, Liam, have pitted. Half the field have stayed out.
Yeah, indeed, he has. Knighton, meanwhile, picking up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits on the exit of Akamaru as well. So he's having all sorts of issues right there. But like you said, Timo leads this race. George, meanwhile, is a lap down. He's got himself right caught up in all of this. And he's going to probably be hoping for some kind of reprisal and hopefully something to save his day, because he is a lap down and he's pretty much out of this race so far, as he's right up behind Timo right now. But like I said, Timo, Casper, Cam staying out then on these tyres, of course, for the likes of Ryan, Berry, Cam as well, Newgarden N8, and of course that they're all on the medium tyres, and the hards as well, might I say, for Ryan Berry. They're going to be staying out until around about lap 22. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you can stretch these tyres for around about lap 13, 14. Chuck on a set of medium tyres. That might be what they're trying to do. The medium tyres, they will be able to go to the end of this race. Potentially, though it's not ideal. It's a soft, medium, soft strategy. More likely for these drivers that be pitting, like I said, probably around about lap 20 as well. Last 12 laps on a set of soft tyres. Maybe lap 22, 23, depending on what they want to do. So, strategy-wise, very intriguing. But for Timo and Casper, they've kind of just got to stay out right now because they can't pit because they'll drop right to the back of the field. So, they've missed their cue. So, it's all going to be right about now of who's going to be doing what strategy. Cam in a very fine third. As in comes Tony, meanwhile, to serve a pit stop on those set of hard tyres. Isn't that a penalty? Wouldn't be surprised to see Knighton in the pit then when he gets ran. Is he going to see a new nose for Tony? No, not. It's another set of medium tyres.
Because he doesn't want to be on the hards, Liam. He wants to be on the mediums during the safety car because we do know in safety cars the hard runners get swamped. So he would have been one of 2 people to go on to the hard tyres. So well, why not go on to those mediums then at the moment? So whilst we're having a safety car period as well, let us know your predictions in the chat on who you think is going to be winning this race and who's going to be on at the podium. And if you're liking the action so far, don't forget to leave a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, turn that red button into a grey, and hit that notification bell as well, so you get notified as to when we stream, which is every Wednesday night at 8 PM without fail. So make sure you stay tuned. And I know quite a few of you watch this on demand, as in not live, so make sure you watch us live this time because it is amazing. And as Sky Sports say, it's only live once, pretty much as well. And you can also follow us on Twitter at VSL_F1 as well, where obviously the standings get posted, and obviously you also get notified there what the next race is too. So drivers are weaving their tyres. We're just waiting for Matt Ryan and Pete to catch up to the safety car, and then we can go racing. George will be pretty much lapped by everyone because on this game, you're not allowed to unlap themselves. I don't think they've got it for the next game either, unfortunately. But I will ask that question because that would be a very nice feature to have on the next game. But
Timo hit the safety car, Jess. Timo hit the safety car, I think. Other than that, I think Casper and Timo both in the pit lane. That's very odd. That is very odd. And it's not forecast to rain, I believe. That's what my last information I got told earlier on. New nose for Timo. Yeah, he did hit the safety car. I thought he hit the safety car right there. So that is why in the pits comes Casper. Well, that was the only thing he could do right there, because if he stayed out, he would have been completely and utterly in a situation. Now, he should be able to go to the end of this race on that set of medium tyres. It's risky, but it's possible. This now allows Cam leading this race from Ryan Berry, and then Newgarden in third ahead of his teammate NA in fourth. And then comes Flexi, Kai, Matta, Slenderman. We're waiting to see if anyone in the chat. Aiden saying, George, what are you doing? So looking up to see what's happened there as, he's overtaken the safety car.
Oh.
Now, I believe unless he's been let go, which he should. In fact, he would have been let go by the safety car. So that is why he's been allowed to go through. So, do you know what you said just a minute ago? Why can't you unlap yourself? Well, it turns out you can. Right there.
That is very, very odd, though. Very odd.
I don't think I've seen that. Well, that might mean the safety car's going to stay out a little while longer. Now, I don't know if there's any issues. Well, the safety car's had enough. It's coming in, so they're not going to wait up for the poor man. Right there, so George, now he's back on the lead lap, so if you do get another safety car, he will be back into position. But we're going to get back racing then. Here today, Cam from Ryan Berry. And all looking exciting. All going to be intriguing then. Who's going to be aggressive down into turn number 1, Jess?
Well, I am expecting Ryan Berry to get a good start. You know, he has been the Mr. Consistent, but we know Cam's a fast driver, and he's got away very quickly then into the Variante Basse now already, and Ryan Berry did not get the best of starts. Anyway, the person who I'm expecting to have a good start is Newgarden, He has not got the straight line speed to keep up with these two. He's under pressure from his teammate as Flexi tries to get past Ahmed into turn 2. Tamburello then, and Flexi is now up into P4, separating the two Red Bulls. Right now we got Kieran trying to go past into Villeneuve chicane. A beautiful run from Kieran there up into P5, and there's still so many cars battling at the moment. They just want to gain as many positions as they can. Matter is up a position. His teammate Det also up a position. Robin is back in this race. He can have a little bit of a fight as well, but he may need to pit again. We've got Tony in the Williams. He's got past Robin in the AlphaTauri. Oh, Flexi. He's got a time penalty, but he's just got past Newgarden into Akamurali. Was it after Piratella where he got that time penalty? He must have done, or it must have been before Akamurali where he got it. But anyway, all heading into Variante Alta now. Flexi's got a beautiful run down the hill then. Is he going to go into a bats and go for a move? Because there won't be DRS yet until lap 10. So, Ryan Berry going a little bit wide on those hard tyres. You're just not going to get anywhere on those hard tyres. And Flexi has an open invitation saying thank you very much. Up into P2. Timo is having all sorts of trouble at the moment. He's got passed by Casper. Can he get Casper once again then? He's got the straight line speed that he needs to, heading towards Tamburello. Oh, they touch a little bit there. Going into turn 2. Ooh. I think Timo's got it, but Casper cuts. Casper cuts just a little bit. There might be a warning there in the game. But these two, they're going to fight for their lives, Liam.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, N8 giving absolutely no quarters, by the way, to anyone behind. He has shoved 2 cars off the road nearly. Down into a few corners. Meanwhile, Tony having it up the inside of Tony. There's a little interesting thing there. Meanwhile, battling up the road, Newgarden trying to get past Slenderman. Slenderman holds that position. N8, meanwhile, just holding the Berlin wall behind him. He's got 1, 2, 3. Knighted out of this race. He's dropped to the exit side of Piratella. That might be a second safety car is there. I don't know if Tony got that one through as he's passing, and he might have got invalidated right there as Newgarden
I think it was an illegal overtake, Liam. It was an illegal overtake, so he was forced to let him through, unfortunately.
Oh no, they're letting each other back through. They don't know what's going on right now. Newgarden.
This is weird.
I've seen that before. They're switching positions. I tell you what, this is what it's gonna be doing is allowing Cam in the pit lane. Right now, he's got himself a nice little buffer. There's all sorts of cars at the beginning of this race. As you were looking down the rest of the field, I was looking and seeing cars having bits of incidents. Meanwhile, I have been told by Aidan Molloy that George hit the car of Timo into the safety car. It seemed that is why he had damage. So if that is true, that might be a big penalty coming the way of George, unfortunately.
Yes, because I think what George was trying to do was trying to unlap himself. I think that's what he was trying to do, but he probably doesn't know that you can't do it, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm almost certain that it's going to be reported. I'm almost certain it is going to be reported. So, it's not allowed. You are meant to keep in position in the safety car, regardless if you're lapped or not. I don't know how he got away with it in the game, but I don't have a clue, but to be honest. But let's go for your order at the moment. I believe I'm just trying to see who has still yet to make a stop. Ryan Berry and Newgarden yet to make a stop. Everyone else has done at least one. Ahmed and Newgarden. No, actually, no, Newgarden hasn't pitted, so ignore that. But Ahmed will need to pit again anyway. But your order is, at the moment, Flexi, P1. He's got a time penalty there.
He's dropped it.
Matter's dropped it at Morale. It's caught a lot of drivers. I can understand because it's a very hard corner. And Cam didn't need to do that, but he did anyway. Fair sportsmanship, but Cam, you didn't have to do that. But I think Cam realised that Matter made a mistake, but he wants to have a fair fight. And yeah, fair enough. So
invalid overtake. Got invalid overtake. That's why he's dropped back behind. So that is fair enough between those guys. Meanwhile, George has gone off the circuit somewhere. Down at the bottom of the circuit, so he's had a bit of an issue right there. But fair enough to Cam. I mean, he didn't have to do it, but of course he's coming in the pits actually. So
I wonder if he's got damage then. Is that why?
He have contact potentially. Let's have a look as in comes Cam, the man who was leading this race earlier on. Is that a new nose I can see right there? It is not a new nose.
Maybe he was on hards. He was on hard tyres, I think. I mean,
And no brainer.
if you could check what tyres he was on, that'd be lovely. But if you're on hard tyres at the moment, if I was George, I would come in for said mediums if you have a fresh set mediums, because those mediums could get to the end with the safety car being at this pace.
Medium, hard, medium, Jess.
Pardon?
So, medium, hard, medium. So he had a hold on temporarily.
That is a perfect strategy for Cam. That is what I would have done if I was in this situation. So, good move.
20 laps on these tyres. It's a long while, Jess. I mean, it will be interesting. Now, I don't know if there was potentially some lag. Especially with that incident, what happened with George and the car. It definitely looked like the safety car potentially lagged back. There was a bit of a desync, especially on my perspective. I will save it just so I can check it over.
I didn't record it on the stream, unfortunately, because I was seeing what other drivers were doing. But yeah, I remember though, I was watching a video. I think a while back. I think it was F1 2013. I think it was, or 14. Actually, it was 13. Safety car's in this lap, but I'll talk about it briefly. I think it was Team McMurdoch. He hit the safety car and he got disqualified from the race. Yeah.
If you hit the safety car still, I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah, but he don't seem to happen on this game. So I think Cody's have had less harsh penalties, but I don't know. It might be just lag. That's probably why. But anyway, Liam, I did the restart last time. I'll let you do the restart this time, as Flexi will be leading the field away.
The Ferrari in home turf, in home style, then will lead the field away, and he's gone straight away, then through the last corner into Avanza, and that is a stonking restart. He is absolutely there for Ryan Barry for dead right there as they come down then to start this race. As we look down, the top four absolutely getting brilliant starts. Cam's making a few positions up at the back. Further down the field, we've got this gang of the cars. Here's Akon then following from Tony, but Flexi leads from Ryan Barry, and then Kai Slender, then comes Newgarden, as everyone slots him through into Tamburello for the first time. As there you can see Robin really right up the back of Deck as they come then into Villeneuve as they all just slot themselves through. No one trying to make any silly mistakes down there. As let's see as you come into Tozer. Now's the opportunity to make manoeuvres if you want. There's Casper trying to look around the outside. There's contact there between Robin and Timo. And here is Casper trying to fit it a three-wide sandwich up the hill. As they come into Piratella, and this won't work. As he's going to get himself all squeezed up. No one's giving anyone an inch right there. And that is unsurprisingly Casper off the road. I think he will get away with no damage. They come down to interact Minerali. But Timo and Robin, they didn't really have an opportunity to give him a run. There is Newgarden getting overtaken by Tony as they come down into the chicane. Slenderman with a 3-second time penalty is off the road there. Going is Robin as here again. Timo trying to look for an opportunity. The clouds have started to come over at the sky. As you can definitely see now, a little bit more bunching is Deck holding up Robin. Robin just pushing the rear end back of the Mercedes. Drive behind them the Aston Martin, followed then by the Ferraris. He now come across the line. There is Deck trying to pull alongside and get through. Ryan Berry, meanwhile, getting passed by Slenderman up into third position, making it a Ferrari 1, 2, 3. Might I say, is up the inside there, attempting is Deck. Can't quite do it as Robin gets a big time stopper. Oh no! Contact in three of them! The three drivers, Casper involved! Nothing he could have done there, Robin just pulled across there. It looked like it. Here's George having a look up the inside as all sorts of kind of said, what break can Casper get this afternoon? He's been involved in so many instances now, trying to go around the outside and up the inside there. Here's George. That was rather reckless, I must say, that trying to get up the inside. And these guys there, they just need to calm down a little bit as they get all bunched up. As George trying to go up the inside. Yeah, Ferrari damage. Casper's lost his front wing, unfortunately. So that is tiring time for the Ferrari driver. Poor old Casper can't catch a break this afternoon, can he?
No, but he's just having a bad luck around the home track. It's like in real life that the Ferraris are cursed to not do well or something. I mean, it's a shame. It is a shame because he is second in the championship, and if there's a race where the Ferraris need to do well, it's this track, and sadly, it's not. Anyway, DRS enabled then for these drivers, and we can look at the gap that Flex is falling away on Kieran, 2.2 seconds. Same for Kieran actually on Slenderman, and so is Ryan, Slenderman on Ryan Bear at the moment. It's Timo trying to go for a move then. In Akon into turn 2 then to Tamburello, and he does it with ease. The championship leader is taking advantage of Casper's misfortunes, and he could get past another car of Newgarden, who's on 13 lap of softs, who needs to go onto those medium tyres sooner rather than later. He must be struggling. He must be under puncher territory right now. But as the saying goes, you do not give up in league racing. There could be another safety car which could bring Newgarden back into contention, but you can't always bank on another safety car. Surely Timo could go for a move into Imola, but he doesn't want to risk it. I think the next move we could see is through Variante Alta, or we could see it just before Variante Alta very, very soon as they go for a right, then a left. Oh, they touch a little bit. Oh, that was close.
Big damage, front wing's gone, Josephine, there. That was a very big impact into the rear diffuser as Akon and Deck and Matt all battling away down into the corner. The two Mercedes are going to come very close to touching. They do just not. I think Timo's the front ring, surely. Unless he got away with it, he might have got Newgarden comes in, as well as also a few others diving into the pit lane. As here all Melly coming down the straight here comes N8. Trying to go around the outside then of Tony. Might have a lunge up the inside, and Tamburelli doesn't think better of it. As Matt Ryan having all sorts of trouble as well. They're all really struggling here today, Jess. No one really keeping it going directly in a straight line, but they're just about managing to do all the right things. Up front though, Flexi really putting this gap. Matt Ryan somehow on those set of hard tyres stretching, and he'll be stretching till around about lap 22 to chuck on a set of soft tyres to the end. And it's all looking pretty good right now. A lot of penalties as here you can see Tony trying to get Matt Ryan a little bit wide. Now we're going to see him move down into Mirani around the outside. This will be brave. Backside of it there. You do not go around the outside into that corner. Deliver Fight Another Day is now behind the Red Bull, just lurking in the mirrors. And we know how aggressive N8's been today. He's been getting himself in all sorts of wars. And hopefully he can try and get himself in a few more battles that hopefully doesn't end up coming to Cropper.
I hope not either as well, but Robin Rest, he's still in a points-paying position at the moment in P10. He's got no penalties as well, and he knows he could take advantage of this. He can't afford to make any mistakes at the moment. There are some moments where it's getting clear again as well, but you never know when the weather could turn as Timo gets past both Matta and Ryan Berry. Ryan Berry's under pressure from Matta as well. Tony P gets past Matt Ryan, so a lot of moves being made in the midfield, which is allowing everybody else, which is like Ahmed and Robin, to catch up, then heading towards Villeneuve as well as Robin West hits Ahmed, and they touch, they make contact, and that's awful. That is awful, and they're both out of the race. George has got a front wing change, and on the softs, that is interesting, and we got a safety car. So, what does this do then? What do you do now if you have been on 10 lap old memes? If you have a fresh set memes, will you pit or would you go for track position? I don't know, but I was riding on board with Ahmed and Robin and it looked a bit risky, I have to say. But I'm almost certain that this instant will be going to the stewards. The stewards are going to be so busy, not going to lie.
My judgment on that, but I know exactly what I just saw right there. Got up the inside, floored it. Got damage on the brakes. It looked like MH just broke a little bit earlier down into the first corner. George, meanwhile, is really slowed right up there, but broke right there as you come through, then floored it up the inside on the grass to try and get past. There was contact, and out the race, the pair of them. I do not know exactly what I saw right there, but I fear predictable.
Indeed, but we've got a few people in. We've got Kieran, who's gone for a strategy that I don't think would happen. He's on the softs. Now, the softs are only meant to last 13 laps. We have more than 13 laps. Oh no. Newgarden's got a drive through. You can't set drive throughs on the safety cars, so his race is ruined. But Kieran, I don't know if those softs are going to make it, but if he does get it to the end, then fair play. But probably lap 21 I would have pitted. I would have said lap 21 I would have boxed, but you know, under safety car conditions, you never know, there could be another safety car, he could work, but I doubt it. But the person who's in the best condition is got, I would say, Timo at the moment in P6, he's got no penalty, or Matta. He won the race out of nowhere in the first round in Australia. Could he win out of nowhere here today and win his second race of the season? He's only won one, and he was a champion last season. Will he be back to winning race? I don't know. We also got Tony in the Williams as well, the tyres could go into good use towards the end of the race as well. Literally, we don't know who could win, because obviously the ones on the medium tyres, they may have to pit again, because I don't know if those mediums are going to get to the end. It's just all sorts of chaos at the moment in Imola. And let us know in the chat, do you think the guys on the mediums from P1, P2 and P4, do you think that those tyres could get to the end of the race? I don't think so, but strategies think differently.
Yeah, and I have just been confirmed that by the man himself, it looks like, both some very eccentric language, I will say, that it definitely would seem that was, unfortunately, intentional. So that is a real shame. I don't like seeing that in league racing, and I mean, it's unfortunate, but it'll be dealt with as they're under safety car. And back out we go then for Matt Ryan, as Cam in the pit as well. Jordan Akon down in 14th and 13th. His 13th is now Cam, and 14th actually might be Cam in a second if he comes out.
He's on soft as well, so is Matt Ryan.
It'll go to the end. They can last 15 laps, so it's a bold strategy. It's around about 40-50% historically what I found when I was doing it. But it's going to be interesting. Flexi up front, though. Slenderman in second.
Yeah, Slenderman back in this race as well. And with that safety car, it is helping those softs potentially get to the end as well. So that's probably why they're doing it. So we've got 3 different strategies here this afternoon for the rest of this race. And it only needs to be 2 at a time, and so then everyone will score points. But please, no one else retire, because it would ruin the race otherwise as well. We don't want another race being ruined by someone. So let's just hope the rest of this race goes a bit better for some of these drivers. And Casper's just showing you do not give up safety cars in this lap. So we've got a Ferrari in P1, a Ferrari in P2, an Alpine stroke Renault stroke Lotus stroke, you know, whatever. In P3 we've got a Ferrari in 4th, we've got a Mercedes in 5th and 6th, a Lotus in 7th, a Jaguar? I'm going to call him Jaguar, I don't know. But anyway, we are about to get going, Liam.
Getting a good start. Meanwhile, Kyron's got a good start as well. Tony really left dawdling there as they come down the straight. Timo might get on the accident as well. They might make it 3 wide into Tamarello. It's on the grass into Tamarello. If he can pull it off, he might get 1. Trying to go around time 2. He's taken the over into Tamarello. Will get a penalty. They'll have to let him go. They'll have to let a pair of them go. He does do so as they come down into Villeneuve. But it was almost a brave move. He's still got the potential there. They're going to come a crumple then on the exit as they come down into Tosa for the 19th time this afternoon as they almost bang wheels again. But Timo trying to do a pass on the grass right there. Very tiring car race, but he got one of them nearly in the end. And that was Tony. Brilliant stuff there, and somehow didn't end up dropping on the gravel and wiping the pair of them out. I've done that before in racing here, but it's all going to be about who's going to do what further down the field. We've got Casper there getting swamped. Here is Cam trying to go around the outside. It'll be a little bit close there between the pair of them. Give each other just a lot of run there. Ryan Berry going off the road as led Cam goes up into what is now 9th position this afternoon. Up front, Flexi now got a second and a bit advantage on Slenderman and Kieran. As further down the field now, we've got Matt trying to get past Tony Akon with a penalty. As you can see, Kieran right behind his teammate. Behind them, Timo now in 4th. He's going to be hungry.
Yeah, he's going to be hungry to get a position. Here goes Mata, though, on those fresher tyres. Into Tamarello they go. And Mata is on fire at the moment. Next on his hit list is Timo, then, at the moment, who's got time penalties. Kieran, then, 3/10 behind. And I will look at the deltas, actually, in between the tyres to see what difference did it make being on the soft and what difference did it make being on the mediums. And I have to say, those penalties are coming thick and fast. And if we get another safety car, if there's penalties involved, that could make a difference between gaining, as we've got few more positions being gained at the moment. Tino right on the back of Slenderman at the moment. Got the better traction at the moment. This will bring Mata in the equation. This will bring Tony B in the equation. If they keep on fighting, then they go into the Variante Alta very, very soon as well. I don't think they're going to get a move there. No, they do not. But Cav's going to try and go for a move there just before the Variante Alta. And he could get Tony in the process as well. Is he going to? On those soft tyres, he's got the freshest softs out of anybody, so he could be the favourite to get past these cars. There's one thing on catching up, there's another thing on passing and doing the overtake. Casper gets past Ryan Berry then up into 9th place, but can Cam get past the other Alpine into 6th place? Yes, he does. Timo gets past Slenderman. There's battling happening all over the chat, and I'm loving this. And we don't have that long to go until the end of this race. Flexi still leads, but not by much, though.
Yeah, he made a mistake not long ago. It was a second. Now he's back down to 4/10 of a second, so he's dropped it somewhere. Yellow flags, talking of dropped it, there is George off at the first corner. Resets the car. I don't think you're allowed to do that either. So, a little bit of a misdemeanor for a few of them so far. Further down, Slenderman, Matter, then comes Cam, then comes Tony, then comes Tony the second, then comes Casper in third. He is looking frightening so far in this race. He is hoping to come up a few positions. They've really gained 1 this afternoon. Tony's gained 10. 11 for Cam. He is my driver of the day so far if he keeps it on the island. 3/10 of a second, meanwhile up front. This is really closing for Kieran right now. He might have an opportunity, potentially down towards in the first couple of corners. He's got to keep it on the track, Luke. Got to keep it on the island. Come through the VAT to 1, into 2, and now with the help of DRS then, let's see if the pretty much the sister team then, the Alfa Romeo passing the Ferrari down into turn 1. Flexi's pretty much led most of this race. Not anymore. Kieran takes the lead then of the Italian, the San Marino Grand Prix, might we say. As they come through, then donking moves. There is Tony passes Tony down into the first corner as well. Casper following suit as well, and might try and pick up the pieces between the Tony, shenanigans, might we say. But so far, so good for everyone. Matt in 5th position, by the way, after those issues earlier on. John's in the pit lane for a new nose. Newgarden as well, down the back after serving that drive-through penalty. But with what is now 11 laps to go, Jess, this is turning into a little bit of a cracker.
It is as well. Make sure you stay tuned as well until the end. Make sure you do not tune in to the other leagues. Tune in to VSL because, you know, we are the best on a Wednesday night then. So, Kieran, can he stretch those soft tyres to the end? If he can stretch that gap, he could save his tyre wears and that could get to the end comfortably, because we do know that Flexi can come back towards the end when those soft tyres start to die. 9/10 of a second difference is between the softs and the mediums, but it will come down in around about 5 or 6 laps or so. So do watch out because anything can happen. Kieran setting the fast lap of this race so far. Casper trying to do all he can to get past Tony, but to no avail. But Cam is going to see if he can try and get past Matter as well. But Matter, can he get past Slenderman into Tamburello? He does not. He stays behind. Oh, it's Slenderman. That was interesting now. I think Matter was very, very brave, just waiting to go for a move there. If he went for a move there, that would have been an instant as they pass the Villeneuve chicane. Now into Tota. And we can see Timo right in front as well. This is going to be a cracking train. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 potentially cars in this train. As Cam, oh, Piratella, he almost hit Matter there, but he didn't through turn 9. And Akamirali is going to be the next corner then as well. Hopefully they all get it right. Cam doing a lot better, but he is on the soft compound of tyres. He's going to try and get past 1. He gets past 1 car. He can't get past Slenderman, unfortunately. But he's running out of VRS, Liam. He's just pushing so much. It's not going to last until the end. There's quite a few braking zones, but not many. So recharging your battery is going to be difficult. And we're seeing Matter. He's saving his DRS, so that's really going to help. Slenderman's out of DRS on Timo, so that will allow Timo to close in ever so slightly. As Cam does get past Slenderman eventually into turn 1. Heading towards turn 2 now they go quite comfortably.
Look at Matter, the inside into the first corner. There's 1-1, boys! And they do turn to forces him off the circuit. Now, if I was Matter, I'd probably give that one back up because he rather just forced the car off the road. I hope that hasn't done Cam some damage, but a little bit of trouble. He is going to let him back through. The fair play Matt's going to let him through. That is respectful. I like seeing that. We don't want to be seeing cars barging each other off the road. A little bit of weaving, thank you very much. That is sportsmanship at its very best between those two. It was a late move. It was a bit of a day late, $1 short. Nearly worked. If this had less damage on, probably would have worked pretty well. But giving each other through, I hope Cam hasn't got damage from that so we can go and chase after Timo, who's rather dropped back meanwhile. He's now 4 seconds behind Flexi, who's just kind of keeping with Kieran right now. That gap hasn't really opened up too much. It's staying within DRS. But remember, of course, with that time penalty, of which is a grand total of 3 seconds, by the way, of the free sum there of Flexi, Timo and Campbell with 3-second time penalties. In terms of penalties, by the way, a lot of people have got them. Many people, Casper, Tony, Matt, Kieran having got penalties. The biggest, by the way, that is George with 12 seconds. But all sorts of issues today as we come through towards the first couple of corners. Cam's really starting to catch Timo right now, isn't he?
Yep, he is. He's finding the time that he needs to get past him, but he's out of DRS now at the moment, so that's not going to help him. But I do believe there's one DRS zone around this circuit as well, which is through the... I can't remember what corner is the final corner. It's Ravazza. There we go. Ravazza into Variante Bassa. There we go. I eventually got it right. It's hard to remember. It's not that long to go until the end of the race. You can see Matt is still on the limit as well, but he is pulling away ever so slightly at this moment in time. And who's got the fastest lap so far, actually, out of everybody? It's Kieran at the moment still. So at the moment, if it stays like this, he will get the 2 extra points. 7 tenths per second, still stable as well, so Flexi can still be in with this. People without penalties are Kieran, Matta, Casper, and Tony.
Yeah, well, look at Cam here. Jess already caught over you. He's really caught up the back of Timo right now. He could still go on, potentially try and win this race. He could try and battle with Flexi later on, because he is going to fly right now. I mean, the gap is it might be a little bit too big, but he'll definitely get 3rd position. Timo's going to cover the inside line. It won't matter too much because the DRS is so powerful around Imola. You could get past with ease there, and indeed he does. Down towards turn 1 before you even get to the braking zone. Timo left there just to look in as well. Look ahead of him to see the car drifting off into the sunset. Slenderman in the pits for a set of soft tyres. Passing there Ryan and Akon. As Akon now up into 10th position. Ryan with lack of DRS getting overtaken right there. It's about 7/10 the Delta really. With DRS, if you get a good exit, you can really almost pull alongside down towards turn 1. That's how powerful it is around here. So, I mean, it's still within a shout that Flexi can win this race, but I think he might just be hanging back, just kind of following, because I think in his heart, he probably wants to win this race, but unless Kieran gets a penalty, it's going to be an awkward afternoon. I tell you what, Cam, by the way, 4 stops of how many positions he's up so far this race. He is doing incredible. Up 14 positions, without doubt, my driver of the race. This might be the driver of the season.
He's got penalties though. He's got penalties, so he's going to drop quite a bit. Not by much, but he will still get points. He'll still get points. I think he'll drop to. I think he'll get 3rd still. I think he'll still get 3rd because look at the pace he's got, Jess. Look at the pace he's got. He has got. What's the gap between these guys? I'm having a look. Gap to leader.
Gap to leader is 6 seconds, but looking back, he's got a 4-second gap there. He's already going to be dropping behind 7th position, 6th position. But the pace deficit he's got on those soft tyres, and he's already got 2 seconds nearly on the car ahead. I think he'll get 3rd still in this race. I honestly do. He's in that kind of mood where might have jinxed him, but I have faith. Jess, today. Can I have some faith in him?
Yes, you can.
Yes. I can have some faith. Let's see if he can do it. Now, watch him drop at the next corner.
Please don't.
Let's watch some board of him. Don't drop it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
That was
for a second he did. I thought for a second he did, but he caught it up. So he carries on his merry way, and he is definitely opening that gap up. Timo coming under pressure here again. Yellow flag, and that is New Garden.
Turn 3.
Someone's exploded outside.
Oh, what happened there?
I think a firework went off somewhere, or someone's doing a backfire. That was a very loud bang right outside my window. Never mind, though. We've got, still on circuit, we've got fireworks on circuit. Fireworks in real life right now.
Indeed, lap 28 of 32. The final few laps of this Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. I'm not going to try and attempt to say the full name because, yeah, it goes wrong otherwise at the moment. And you can see I've raised that before, but these medium tyres are starting to come back. Full Flexi, and he's still within the bubble. To be fair, Flexi's on 22 lap on mediums and still keeping going. He's another contender for driver of the day, Flexi. He's doing absolutely incredible and has hardly made any mistakes at the moment, and he could challenge definitely Kieran for the win. So if he gets to the end on pretty much 23, 24, 20, 26 lap of mediums, then yeah, he's also one of my other contenders for driver of the day as well, but probably Cam may potentially catch up as well. Very ultras Matt Ryan gets a time penalty as well. Pretty much everyone from 8 downwards has got a time penalty. And then we've got Matta, Kieran, Casper and Tony that's got no time penalties. They're going to jump quite a bit as well, which can help them in their championship hunt as well. Casper, I wouldn't have said that Casper would be sixth.
Flexing in. I don't know why he's pitted there. That's odd. He's pitted then, so he's going to throw away a podium. He doesn't have a puncture. He doesn't have a puncture at all, so he's coming in the pits to allow him through. But the pit lane's so long around here, he's going to drop all the way out on the podium here as Matt passing Timo then up into 3rd position. What a stonking move then. Matt into a provisional. Well, it definitely is 3rd. It might be 2nd in this race. I don't know.
It is P2. It is P2 because at the moment, Cam's got a time penalty, but Cam is gaining on Kieran. So, I think it could be 3rd. It could be 3rd position for Matta. It will definitely be 3rd because Timo's got a time penalty as well, and Casper could be 4th position. I wouldn't have thought that Casper would be 4th after all the spins he had today. I have to say, that is a miraculous recovery from Casper.
Indeed, well, we have only got a few laps to go. Slenderman, they're getting a penalty as we come through then. 4 seconds Cam, he's got that 3-second buffer over Matta right now. Here in the Formula 1 Rolex Gran Premio de Made in Italy de Emilia-Romagna 2022. There is the full track name, by the way. There we go. Right there. As we are, of course, in Imola for the San Marino Grand Prix. As I will always call it forever. If anyone says it's not, you're incorrect. It's the San Marino Grand Prix, and I will die on that.
The best name for this Grand Prix.
Meanwhile, Timo trying to catch up to Matta down in towards turn number 1. He's not going to be close enough right now. Only got 3 laps of this race left as well.
It's gone quickly, Liam, as Tony has got past Casper. The hards, I wonder if the hards are at the right window at the moment. I think they are, or if Tony's just quick around this circuit. I think Tony's quick around this circuit. This could be a huge result for Tony because he could be in a net P4 at the moment due to Timo's penalty at the moment. 3 more laps to go, but Casper is on a charge. He's on a charge right now because he's also got less penalties, and it's his 4th position as they pass Piratella then. The Tifosi are cheering him on then. Right now, he is the highest of the Ferrari Works cars. The highest of the Ferrari powered cars is Kieran. And then we've got the AlphaTauri in P2 at the moment as Flexi gets past Ryan Berry on a set of the soft tyres. He's still going to get some points in this race, so no harm done. But I think he was just struggling with the tyre wear. I think if he stayed out, probably quite a lot of people would have passed him. So he probably said, you know, I would benefit from pitting and to try and catch up. Can he catch up to maybe get Knight? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Flat 31 and 32, 3.6 seconds. I think those tyres can hold on, you know, between Kieran and Cam at the moment. But Matt is on that bubble as Casper gets past Tony then. This is round number 2 between Casper and Tony, and Casper did it absolutely beautifully.
Yeah, that was crucial for him. I just could not fathom why Flexi come in, and then no, he got a car off there. As in the pit lane, Slenderman, I think he's retired in the pits actually. I thought
did he in the pit wall?
He's in the pit lane because he's still moving, so he's retired in the pit lane. He hasn't hit the pit wall, luckily. I've seen that before. I saw that at Hungary just a few days ago whilst I was doing some other race, but Slenderman out of this race, unfortunately for him, he was doing so well earlier on, running in those high positions, but out of this race, Kylo, on his way potentially for victory here today. There's all sorts of fireworks or something's going on outside, I believe. I don't know why people are doing fireworks here today in the middle of, in the middle of May.
It's spring. Well, almost summer, but it's technically spring.
I mean, unless someone's birthday's going. If someone's birthday, happy birthday outside, but it's loud. It's right outside my window and it's distracting me. But nonetheless, Akon, penalty. We are on the last lap of this race here in Imola then for the San Marino Grand Prix. And it is Kieran leading them through. Then he's only got what is 13, 12, 11 corners to go around this circuit. There's not many of them to do. And so far, he's done 3 of them as he comes into the 4th, into the 5th corner of this 19 corner circuit. 18 corners, actually, my apologies, not 11. As there, Paddling is flexing up to 7th position. He is flying.
He is at the moment.
he's going to lose a load of position. Well, he's not going to lose any positions, actually, because he's got all these gaps ahead. So he's doing a good job. But here is Kieran through Admirali for the last time. He's only got what is 3 corners. Takes it nice and gently. Up the hill he comes. A little bit waving, a little bit celebrating. He already knows it. Don't celebrate too early, Sunshine, because I've seen that before and someone's dropped at the last corner and lost the race, which is probably a horrible feeling. But he knows Kieran behind. He knows Cam behind has the penalties. He comes then down towards Ravazza. He weaves one, he weaves left then. The Italian team comes to Italy from the last corner. It is not Ferrari, it's Alfa Romeo then through the last corner. It is Kieran who wins the Italian Grand Prix in utter style. In the wall, across line is second, making Italian 1-2. But Mata gets it by 45 100ths of a second. Wow, oh wow. So close between the Timo in 4th, Kappa in 5th, from Tony in 6th, Flexi in 7th, from Tony in 8th. Then comes Deck in 9th, Matt Ryan, it will cross line in 10th, from Ryan in 11th, Newgarden and George in 12th.
There we go then. Mata, what a recovery there at the moment. It just goes to show, Liam, if you do not get penalties, you'll get rewarded, and that is shown Mata today. It's so hard to pick a driver of the day from this because Kieran did very well to win this race. Let's look at positions gain, actually. Kieran up 3, Mata up 5, Cam up 14, Tony up 12. I just don't know. Casper did well to come back from 5th position and gain 5 places. He's spun quite a few times as well. I have to say, quite a lot of people. Well, the safety car has helped quite a lot of people at the moment. But, you know, you have to have the skill. And your race winner today in Imola is Kieran. His last win in VSL was 2 races ago, actually, in France. So he's on a roll.
He is absolutely on a roll right now. He is flying this season. Cam with the driver of the day. And, well, I will say, unsurprisingly, my driver of the day as well, Jess. He has driven his heart out there for what is 3rd position in the end. Then from the Mercedes driver, but it's Alfa Romeo on top.
Yeah, fastest lap does belong to Flexi, by the way. So he will be getting the extra 2 points because he's inside the top 10. Top 12, sorry. So, your running order then. We have got Kieran from Mata. So Kieran wins from Mata in 2nd. Cam in 3rd, Timo ahead of Casper. The championship could get even closer at the moment. Tony in P6, Flexi 7th, Tony B in 8th, Deck in 9th, Matt Ryan in 10th, Ryan Berry in 11th, Newgarden gets the final point. George is the only finisher to not score a point, but fair play to him for keeping going in this race. And your retirements are Slenderman, Ahmed, Robin, Pete and Hayden. What a race, Liam. What a race.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, this has turned into a lovely race of Kieran winning from Mata and Cam by what is the smallest of margins. Sorry to Cam, he's in the Alpha Tower. I'm so used to him being in Mercedes from commentating and other places. But the Alpha Tauri driver, so it's not a Italian 1-2, unfortunately, but it's Italian podium, I suppose. But I'll let you round it off, Jess.
Yes, indeed. But we are not going to be here next week. We've got a little break week because we do break weeks every 4 rounds. And obviously, this is round 8, so we will have a break week. But after that, in just under 2 weeks' time, so 14 days' time to you and me, the drivers will be heading to Japan for the Japanese Grand Prix Suzuka. I kind of like Suzuka, it's a nice little track there. And then we've got Singapore, Brazil, and then Canada to round it up. In just 4 races' time, we will know who is going to be the VSL champion of Season 8. And finally, don't forget to check our sponsor, Rogue Energy. You can use the code VSL F1 League for 10% off. You can go to their website, rogueenergy.com. And follow us on Twitter at VSL_F1. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and hit that notification bell. Also follow us on Twitter. I am at JessGames95. Liam, what is your Twitter handle, if you please?
It is at Liam New Media, and don't forget to follow me. It's been a very good month for me, pretty much, well, the last 2 months, so things are going very well for me. So, and I do want to say thank you to absolutely everyone here. If you're watching, if you've been racing, I have enjoyed every single moment of this season, and I thank you to the bottom of my heart.
Oh, thank you, Liam, for joining me, because otherwise it would be hard doing a full season on my own. So, we will see you in just under 2 weeks' time for the Japanese Grand Prix. Have a good evening. Good night.